Hey everybody, it's Justin, your guide into the other side. Now let's jump right in. I kind of want to bring to your attention the Otherside Wiki. I know a lot of you guys are looking to min-max the game, play the game, know everything about it. Um, you're gonna need a tool for something like that that can just aggregate all the information you need about everything you want to know. So I found that the Otherside Wiki is like one of the best places to get all that information. So first of all, it's just kind of like your key to the Otherside metaverse. You can use this tool to learn basically everything you need to know from other deeds, codas, vessels, and sales. Again, got all the prices up here. You got the latest sales for codas, vessels, whatever. We also have the latest news as well. So, this basically comes directly from Yuga News, so it's nothing we already don't know. And if you scroll down, you can kind of see, these are the highest Otherside sales to 24 hours. But that's besides the point. I would just go straight, click on, let's just begin. Basically, the first thing you really need to know is that, the site is very straightforward. What is another deed? It's basically what you need to play the game, essentially. It's how to interact with the game. And to play Legends of the Mara, I know a lot of people are really interested in that because that kind of, brings to life, how to get farming, hunting, get on the leaderboard, another dimension to the game where you can have allies and all that stuff. But basically, there's two kinds. There's two collections. Again, there's the other deed, is the original other deed by Otherside, and then there's the new other deed expanded. Again, just to reiterate, the original contract does have everything you need in order to play Legends of the Mara, because you interact with the burn contract, and that'll spit out what you need, which is basically expanded in a vessel. So again, we can go ahead and just scroll down and take a look at everything that's going to just be covered by the website, basically. So again, the wiki covers things like sediment, environment, resources, artifacts, and basically we can just kind of click through these. But let's just go ahead and browse traits. And when you do that, you'll immediately be brought to the sediment page. Excuse me. And we can immediately see that lands are broken down into a variety of sediments, obviously. So biogenic swamp and chemical goo are kind of like the higher tier lands in terms of sediment layer, mainly because they were gifted or airdrops, not necessarily gifted, but airdrop, same thing, to all of the holders of Bored Ape Yacht Club. So the biogenic swamp, Bored Ape Yachts, the Bored Apes, chemical goo, mutant apes. Then all the other ones were up for mint, so Cosmic Dream, Infinite Expanse, and Rainbow Atmos. And you can just kind of see, hey, there's only 10,000 biogenic swamps because there's only 10,000 bases. There's 20,000 chemical goos because there's only 20,000 maces. You can kind of see that Cosmic Dream's got 23, Infinite Expanse 25. So again, you can also see the sediment tier, and per the gaming blog, you can actually see that we got a little bit more information about how these are useful to the game. Again, tier 1 is just kind of like that lower tier sediment where it takes a little bit longer to farm the fragments, and fragments are critical to feed to your Maras to evolve into Coda Maras, and obviously they get traits based off of the sediment layer, and I guess whatever other factors of catalysts and God knows whatever to evolve them the way that you want. So again, there's going to be recipes. So picking your sediment layer is going to be really important. Obviously, there's going to be different things for different codas and Kodamaras, but again, these look really interesting. I have no clue what these even are going to do for your codas, but I mean, hey, it's going to be certainly interesting. I mean, we also have symbols here, but I have no idea what these necessarily entails. But again, we can just keep going. Kind of click on environments. This will bring you to a pretty comprehensive list of all the environments that are available to purchase in Otherside. There are a couple of different kinds of environments. There's the decay environment, which has 4 types of biomes. And the biomes for decay are bog, thorn, labyrinths, plague, with harsh and spirit and volcanic. You have other environment biomes as well. So obviously they have different kinds of aesthetics, different kinds of playstyles. I'm sure not necessarily expanded on too much in the blogs, but aesthetically, they all look really nice. And I'm sure there's going to be different gameplay elements that come with each of them. But I mean, dang, Chaos looks pretty crazy. So I actually would say that environment looks like it kind of dictates the resource as well. But that's obviously all on the Otherside Wiki. So this is just kind of like an introductory review over all of those things, and you can just kind of click on these, and it'll just bring you straight to what you want. So personally, I'm inclined to really liking the aesthetic of the crystal lands, but I feel like everybody loves the crystal lands. I feel like there are just some lands that are just just kind of up there, in terms of aesthetic. I honestly would say, based off of what I've seen in Gem or OpenSea or OpenSea Pro, I would say like people really like the Luster, the Crystal, the Biomes, and there are a couple other ones here. I think a lot of people like the Sands, the Sky, and excuse me, a lot of these other ones too. But I mean, they all have pretty nice aesthetics. I feel like this one's like pretty islandy, so I do like this. This one feels very Pokemon-y. But otherwise, yeah, this is just kind of an overview of the environment. But we can also take a look at resources as well. So if we go over here, we can kind of take a look. It kind of gives a brief and comprehensive overview of basically every single resource in the other side. So you can take a look, scroll through every single one. Again, obviously these all vary in terms of rarity, and you can actually see the number of lands that actually have the type of resource that is listed. So I actually have no idea what all these resources are called. So let's just go ahead and click on one that looks interesting. There's just so many. These are kind of crazy because honestly, I mean, it'll eventually be turned into some sort of crafting game, obviously. So useful. So here, let's just take a look at Void. This one seems like a pretty rare one. So if you go take a look, we can go deeper into the other side here. This is actually really comprehensive. Props to whoever built this. My gosh, it's so super duper comprehensive. So again, the resource is kind of like you can see a little description here. So it's obviously the root category. There's only 377 void resources and on 324 different other deeds. So again, these come in different types of tiers. So there's tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. I would, knowing what we know about the sediment tiers, I would speculate that the sediment tier, the tier of the resource, dictates how fast and efficiently that your farmers can mine that resource. If everything stays the same, the tier of the resource logically makes sense that it scales to the efficiency of that resource being mined. So again, this seems like it's the 35th most rare resource in the other side. There's only 10 listed other deeds, so I'm assuming this is like real time. There's only 10 of them listed, and the current floor of void is about 2.444 Ethereum. So I mean, if you do that inside of a calculator, I mean 2.444 times 1,800. I mean that's anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000. Pardon my rough math, but yeah, it seems like, and then you can kind of see the distribution of north, east, south, west. What tier there are. So it just kind of seems it's like there's 38 north tier 1 void resources. It seems very equally distributed, but you can also see the listing price over a time frame here for all the tiers of that resource. So if you click tier 1, obviously it's probably going to be a little bit more cheaper. So 2.8, it's hovering around like 2 to 3. You click tier 2. We have even less available for purchase. This kind of scales, a little bit higher, 3.4 to 5. Tier 3, I'm not necessarily sure, but yeah, that makes more sense. As the more rare a resource gets, the harder it's going to be to find on the market. So again, if you are looking for a resource, a lot of these things aren't necessarily going to be able to be found on Gem or OpenSea, and a lot of it's going to be off over the counter. So do keep that in mind. But Again, literally there's only 3 tier 3 on open market, so something like that. That's something you may want to think about if you're going to min-max resources and target specific lands that you want to buy that may have these resources on them. I have a pretty big feeling that these are going to be really difficult to acquire, especially if you're looking to craft specific recipes in the game. All speculation, of course. But again, if you take a look at this section here, we actually can see where the void resources are located. And we kind of see that 83 of them are on Chaos Lands, so I'm going to go ahead and try to click on this. I'm not sure what this entirely entails, but I guess it brings us to the chaos environment. But I'll actually go back, and it just kind of shows us where the resources are located. So it seems like most of them are in Chaos, second most are on Decay, third most in Growth, so on and so forth. And again, this is a really great resource because you can actually see who the top holders are of the Void resource. And it seems like most of the lands are held by Yuga Labs, so that's probably the main contract. So I would just avoid that if you're looking to go off over the counter. But basically, you can kind of see, hey, viz.eth, you can kind of tracks to who owns it and what Twitter to go take a look at. But again, you can also take a look at the sales. So that's just kind of what you get in terms of pricing. For that, you can see what the lowest listings are as well. But otherwise, that's just kind of a brief overview of resources. You can see where they are, you can see the tiers, you can see all of them everywhere they are. But again, let's just go ahead and move on to artifacts. So it seems like artifacts, similar to resources, also very similar in aesthetic, and probably form and function are related. So again, these are really, really cool. These seem pretty crazy. I haven't necessarily deep delved into artifacts, but they seems like I mean, obviously you can probably make an assumption that the rugged pickaxes are going to be used for farming. That is a pretty easy assumption to make. Speculation still, of course, but and then there are the other ones as well. So I mean, sort of the chosen, that's probably related to fighting. Sloth juice, that's probably some sort of buff. But there are also things like Toto. These little companion NPCs that you can probably get in conjunction. I'm not necessarily sure how these interact with your lands or if they interact with codas, but it seems like these artifacts do interact with codas. So shovel farming, Kodak, pickaxe probably farming, hammer I have no idea, axe probably fighting. Obelisks are interesting. I'm not sure. The video is not necessarily supposed to be too comprehensive over the what speculation the artifacts are going to be. But again, if you go ahead and just click on any of the artifacts, let's just go ahead and just click on. I guess I'm not going to click on the one of ones because that's not going to really be helpful. But let's just click on this chest of holding. So it seems like there's only 50 of them. There's actually 42 unique owners. Mainly because 9 are held by Yuga and the rest are held by other big Twitter whales. So again, if you want to buy one, it's probably going to be nigh impossible to find it on find a listing on OpenSea. So again, that would have to be over the counter. So do keep that in mind because you're just gonna have to know someone who knows these guys that try to at least make an offer. But again, you could just manually go ahead and just bid on every single one, but that's no guarantee that you're actually going to get it. But you can kind of see where these were located based off their last sales, lowest listings. Well, it actually seems like there were a listing for like 15 ETH, 30 ETH, 31 ETH. But again, that's pretty that's pretty cost but you get what you pay for. And a lot of what you're paying for is speculation, so be careful when you are purchasing a lot of these. But again, yeah, that's just kind of like our big overview over the artifacts and regular other deeds, sediment, environment, resource tiers. But again, there are other things like tools and analytics, and I'll go ahead and cover those in the next video. But just kind of wanted to just jump right in, just give you a brief overview of the key to the other side, and I hope that was useful to you. Again, thanks for getting this far into the video. Again, you You can find me in the Otherside Wiki. Feel free to ping me, ask me any questions. I'll be happy to help you. But otherwise, feel free to like and subscribe to the video. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.